He did it. He clicked the button. Does that mean we're live?
That means we're live.
Oh, damn.
Well, there's a 20-second delay in case somebody says something way out of fucking pocket, as usual. But,
When
No
has
one
that
would ever do
ever
that.
happened?
it usually happens right after I click the button to shut you guys up.
What, you getting demonetized for this?
Not even fucking monetized. Nobody watches. We have like 2 people who like to come hang out, which is more than enough.
We do this for us.
Yeah, fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
If you're along for the ride, thank you for coming. But this is for us.
Yeah, you're not invited.
I actually restream it onto a Chinese streaming site. We usually get about 100.
Jesus. Look at these fucking weirdo Americans. Why are there no giant robots? Oh, wait, there is a giant robot. That's why they like us. Seven's a giant robot.
I am the Met God.
Oh, the Chinese audience is upset by that. They think you think they're Japanese.
Look, man, I'm from America. Our education system is not the best.
The Chinese not like Gundams at all? Like the whole mecha thing?
Don't worry, this is a communist
It's not that
party
they,
over
it's
here.
not that they don't, Joe. It's that they don't like that you assume they do.
I'll ask my informant later.
Yeah, he's got the insider info.
Yeah.
I'll kill you.
Anyway, welcome back. We did it. We're back here playing some D&D. Pretty quick recap. Not a lot gone down. We did some shopping. You guys picked up some magical items from Fast Talking Lenny at Lenny's Absurdities. You 7 bought a suit that got finely tailored. We'll be ready in a couple days. You guys met Dory Way at Way Schmelted and Dealt It, the forge and local blacksmith in town. You rented out his forge for the next couple days so Suji could work on armor for Tressum Tinkers. Other than that, your day was pretty uneventful. You got some lodging over at the Sagi Sahagwin Tavern, ate dinner, got some rooms, decided to and you somehow got not dragon's blood, or not dragon's blood, Minotaur blood, that one, the thing you were not looking for. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you all went to bed and nothing strange happened. You woke up the next morning, decided to run a couple more errands. Valir, you are heading off into the center of town towards the Open Sea Tavern, the slightly nicer establishment. Vinteth, you are on making your way to Our Lady of Sorrow, one of the 3 churches or temples to Soren Lid in town. I believe the rest of the party was making their way to the blacksmiths to see Suji off, and then are going to go get some horses and carts so you guys can make your way back to Captain Schmidt-Torin to drop off the Manicor's blood and hopefully get his vessel back where he needs to be. I think that covers it. And nothing bad happened.
That we know of.
But picking up, let's start.
Well.
But yeah, so we'll pick up outside of the tavern. You all start to go your separate ways. We'll start with you, Vintef.
Hooray.
So early in the morning, you make your way through town over to closer to the town square where you guys were at Lenny's. You were kind of pointed in this direction to this larger meeting active church of Soren Lin. This is where most of the general public goes, where you would find like different sermons and different priests and priestess of the faith. So that is where you wanted to start your search today.
Yeah, we're starting with the big one.
Yep, the big one. But as you move through town, again, make a insight or perception check, your choice.
Oh,
That's pretty good. Cool. So as you are moving through town, you do see, as with most elven cultures, I guess somewhat unfamiliar to you. Most people are up and about this early in the morning, coming from Vertrag, where you were in Moorland, where most people were humans in town. They tended to not rise as early. They obviously were requiring more sleep in the night. This being a mostly elvish population, you see a lot of people up early in the morning. And as you're kind of making your way through town, keeping your head down, doing your normal, keeping an eye out for dangers or things that you've grown accustomed to, you start to notice that while very friendly, you see people are like waving and nodding at you. No one's giving you like odd looks. You get even a couple people that notice your holy symbol and recognize you as your station of being some sort of priest or member of the Church of Soren Lin, and kind of greet you as you would greet like a pastor or somebody in town. Good morning, things like that. So you very jovial.
feels good. Feels good to be recognized.
But about maybe a half hour or so of just walking through town, you do start to approach. It's a little bit separated from most other buildings. There's a large courtyard with a pretty decorative fountain in the center of it. From this distance, you can see it is, it's running. There's some sort of statuesque figure in the center of it that water is pouring off of. And behind you see this, comparative to the churches you've seen before, massive building. This is, a true like church to the mother. You can see even from here familiar iconography and symbolism, and there you see her holy symbol a couple of different places already, just even from 100 feet out and before you hit even the front gates. Plenty of people are coming and going. But it's up to you whenever you want to approach.
I'm gonna walk up to the statue, the fountain thing.
Okay. So as you approach the fountain, you do see there are several people, either sitting around it or coming over. So you see a few say a quick prayer and either toss a coin into it or some sort of, gesture of faith. Make a religion or history check. Your choice.
22.
Pretty good. Looking ahead of you, you see a picturesque statue of a elven woman, but with like very exaggerated features. The ears, while coming to a point, come like almost very high on the head. The smile is very almost non-existent. Like you can see the face and you can see like the structure of where like the lips would be, but the lips are very thin and like the mouth is just in a slight curl of a smile. The eyes you can see are, the detail to them is well carved, and while there is the fountain part of it is, there's water coming out of the top of the statue, away from where the actual figure is. There's also slits under the eyes, and then you can see just a trickle of water kind of runs down it. The entire statue is kind of seated at the base of a tree, and that's kind of where the water is coming out of. The water looks like the leaves coming out of the tree. And her hands are in a, mostly steepled kind of, looks like giving prayer, and you can see kind of some of the like the thorn vines from the tree are kind of wrapped around it. And for everything you know, this is a beautiful rendition of Soren.
Beautiful. We pray like this, by the way. The hands, remember? The hands over. Yeah. So.
Right.
I won't say a full prayer, but I'll walk up and cross my hands, do the prayer position, nod to the statue, toss a coin.
Again, keeping your insight check from earlier, you do see several of the people as you approach, still giving you this reverence of like, good morning, Father. Not sure what to reference you because they're not familiar with you, but
I just smile and nod. Start making my way towards the main entrance.
Okay. So as you get closer, you do see there are, again, massive building, large stained glass windows, like beautifully carved, well kept. Yeah, I can keep that. You see a small, not especially even compared to like the one your church, a smaller cemetery kind of off to the side of it. Couple plots, nothing, overly extravagant. But you do see the familiar sign of that this church at least does seem to keep that consistent of part of the mother's domain is to watch over the dead.
Mm-hmm.
But you make your way up to the front. The doors are wide open.
I'm
very
strolling right on in.
As you walk in, give me a perception check.
14.
14? Cool. As you walk in, you do see the church is rather full. This early in the morning, there's probably maybe 7,500 people here. But as you kind of look around, this church could easily hold upwards of 250, maybe 300.
Big.
Yep.
What does the dais look like?
So looking ahead, it is comparatively to yours very plain. It is a simple like wooden altar, not more than 8 or so feet long. You can see there is a propped up stand that has a book, a text of some of the teachings of Soren Lin, you're assuming. There's no chair or like throne or anything for any priest or priestess to be sitting in, but you do see somebody is standing currently and speaking. You hear bits of it from the echo in the back, but you'd have to get like slightly closer to start making out more of the words. Doesn't seem like they are projecting to the whole audience, and you do know this, and you do see it. There are people in the back that are just there for quiet prayer, and as you get closer to the front, that's where you would actually be listening to a sermon or whatever the current priest would be saying.
I'm gonna walk up and try to listen. I'm gonna try to get like, I don't know, 4 or 5 rows back.
Okay. Yep, easy enough. You walk in, you take a seat. As you approach, you do see a female figure standing behind the pulpit. speaking assertively, but still softly, still, very reassuring, very, um, not forceful. um, she, as you kind of walk to the 4 or 5 rows back from where she's speaking, you see her. She continues speaking, but she does like make eye contact with you, like gives you like a nod of like welcoming you, but doesn't like break stride in her sermon. But just acknowledges that you have entered the room and have taken a seat. Figure out which part of the sermon you're walking into. Okay. Well, as we all know, and thank you again all for coming today. Another beautiful day here in Falthier and here in Glairden. As we always try to remember, no matter how one lives their life and how one decides to spend their days, the one thing we all have in common, no matter how different we were in life, is that one day we will pass. Passing is not meant to be scary, nor is it meant to be not meant to be, expected, but one should always be prepared for it, but not let it stop them from living their lives. Though she's the caretaker of death, the mother saw fit to bless us, and she looks around at the mostly elven contingent of people here, saw fit to offer us life. And one day, when it is our time, we will return to her, or to whoever deity we have pledged ourselves to, or is responsible for our creation. Thank you all again for coming. You see it, she's make an insight check.
12.
It's you've been here before on your as someone who's given sermons and speeches and talked about life and death and the balance and how being the shepherd of death kind of sometimes has a hard toll on the people that believe in Soren Lin, and especially those that are supposed to be the caretakers of death. And as she seems to be finishing up her sermon, you can tell that even with a 12, she has seen her fair share of death. She has seen her fair share of the rights of what she's supposed to do. But unlike even probably yourself, still grapples with the heavy toll that leaves. So her cadence towards the end of this is very emotional.
She cares. I like her.
Well, again, thank you all for coming, and remember, to live your life. And one day we will pass on to what is next. Thank you. See, people start to rise and leave in different increments. Some people stay and say their own silent prayers. They break off. You see a section with different candles and different like atmospheres set up. As you look up towards the front, on the front left side, probably about 25-30 feet away from the altar, there is a small setup with a basket of to be that you could pay some sort of respect to, with a symbol on it that's not the mother's.
Hmm. I'm gonna ignore that for now.
Okay.
I'll come back to it. But where'd the priestess go?
You see, she's come out from behind the front altar. A couple people have come up to her and doing the very after church thing of going up and saying, people are saying like, "Oh, thank you for the sermon," and things like that. But she seems to be greeting people who come up and speak to her.
All right, then I'm gonna ignore her for now. I'm gonna go check out that symbol. What the hell is that symbol? Let her do her thing.
Go over and give me a religion check.
20.
20, you say?
20. Indeed.
20's pretty good.
Hope I know what the fuck this thing is. I almost reached for the soap bottle.
The forbidden drink.
Putting this over here. For
Okay. So as you go over to this little, again, it's a small basket. You see variety of coins and other like small trinkets and things. And then above the basket, kind of carved into the stone, it's a carved in picture of an altar, with like a 6-petaled flower in the center of it.
6 petal.
And with a 20, you would know that is the holy symbol for the sacrifice, one of the other deities in the world.
The sacrifice is the name of the deity?
Yep.
Interesting. What's the relation between the sacrifice and the mother?
Cool. So for with the 20, this is what you would know about the sacrifice. So the sacrifice is, in all intents and purposes, a mortal deity. Basically, as part of the second grand covenant with Crowan and Soren Lin and the other deities that created life. So Soren Lin created the elves. So to make sure my notes. Soren Lin created the elves. Bellamy created halflings. Orgath created goblins and other green skin creatures, etc., etc., as part of the covenant for basically creating these beings based off of Crowan's work of creating humans. That is where the part of the day of Berthabong came in, where every 6 years a sacrifice of one member of each of these new races has to essentially give sacrifice to Crowan. So the tie-in is obviously watching over the death of these 6 figures. Basically, then every 6 years, 6 people sacrifice themselves and become part of the sacrifice. So anyone who's ever died as part of the sacrifice is now part of this collective deity, essentially.
Oh. Interesting. So all 6 people that get sacrificed each 6 years become part of, like, their soul just becomes parts of the deity.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, everyone who gives their lives every 6 years, plus anyone who's done it previously, is all considered part of this greater whole, essentially.
But what does it do other than that? Any knowledge on that at all? We just know it's part of the covenant.
It's part of the covenant. You know that it looks over the divine domains of sacrifice, peace, suffering, forgiveness, and hope.
All right. Peace, suffering, forgiveness, hope. I don't trust it. I'm gonna be pious anyway because I'm assuming that's what I probably should do. I'll walk over to it, take a gold coin, and I'll kind of flourish it a little bit, like flick it up off my thumb.
Okay. Are you doing this in an attempt to just show it off, or just because?
Just because. Oh, I thought it'd be cool. Like, flick it in and just do a little bow, walk back.
Sounds good. Flip the coin in, say a quick prayer, and start moving.
Is the altar free yet?
Like behind it, or just her?
Just her, because I want to go like say a prayer at the altar. But if she's still talking to people, I want to have a plan.
Okay. You wait like a minute or two, and after you kind of searched over here and kind of looked up at this altar to the sacrifice, you see like she's finishing up talking to like 1 or 2 people that are still hanging around. You see a couple start to like file out. She's still there and still talking to like 1 or 2 people, but it looks like they're trying to wrap up.
I'm gonna start heading over. I'm gonna walk past her and then kneel at the altar.
Okay. In front of it or behind it?
In front of it.
Okay.
I'm paying service to the altar. I'm not trying to like be behind the altar yet.
Fair enough. I'm just making sure. Not put it past Vinteth to make a power play here, okay? Look at me. This is my church now.
I'm the captain now.
Cool. So you go ahead and take it.
Now show me your basement of bodies.
Where are your severed limbs?
What do you mean you don't have a basement of bodies? We gotta get on that.
All right, step 1, we dig a really deep hole.
We got the perfect man for that.
We do.
So you go over and you take a knee in front of the altar. And... Are you saying a specific prayer or just?
Yeah, we're trying to actually pray now.
Okay. Give me a prayer. You gotta say.
I had this in my head earlier. Now it's fucking blank. Mother, I beseech thee. I never thought I'd be asking you this, but I wonder if you are okay. Thinking back on Morend and whatever was suppressing you, I am worried, but I'm also relieved to find such a glorious place of worship to you. Tell me, are these good people? Are you okay? Anything. You've helped me. I require guidance today.
Give me a religion check.
10. Fuck.
Sounds about right, though.
She always comes in clutch, okay? She comes in clutch.
You wasted your nat 20.
You sit and pray or kneel and pray for a minute or so. Reach out, and as you close your eyes and kind of let yourself go in this space, well, you don't feel a response. I will say, while you are at this altar in this church, while it's not as strong as you felt the personal touch before, the actual presence of her does wash over you. You do feel her around.
Okay, that's good. Vinteth takes that as simultaneously relieving, and this church is bullshit. Not strong enough.
But as you are kind of finishing up your prayer, you do feel kind of a light hand on your shoulder.
Reassuring. I'll say a silent thanks to the mother, then get up and check on the priestess.
As you say your thank you and start to get up, you realize you have an actual hand on your shoulder.
Oh,
Mhm.
well. I'll calmly turn my head and start like get up and spin around like, hello?
Yes, hello. So sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but you. Hello, I am Priestess Valora Jund. It's a pleasure to meet you. I don't think I've seen you around here before. Just wanted to introduce myself and
Vinteth. I'll like reach my hand out, shake her hand. Vinteth, priest as well of the faith.
Vinteth. It is lovely to meet you.
And you as well. What's your name?
Valora Jund.
Laura Jund.
Jund.
A weird name. Is she Elven?
She is.
Jund. Jund. That's an interesting name.
Is it? I've not heard that one before. And Vinteth. That is certainly Elvish, I suppose.
Yeah, Valora. Valora's a beautiful name, but Jund, I'm not familiar with the Jund.
Well, I'm happy to be your first, I suppose. Are you from somewhere else in Valthier? I'm assuming you're not from
For track.
Airda. For Trag. Interesting. Well, welcome home, I suppose. Welcome to Valthier. Did you get here recently, or
Thank you. I've been here a while. I've been traveling. I've never seen the homeland I grew up in, Valthier. If you couldn't tell, I'm little old to be on a pilgrimage, but can she tell how old I am? Yeah.
make an insight check?
10. Fucking 10.
Perfectly average. Hard to read. You kind of say that you're a little old for a pilgrimage, and she kind of just smiles softly, like, well,
Whatever
I
that
suppose
means.
yeah. I mean, I guess nobody's truly too old for a pilgrimage. But I see. I take it you've been have been practicing long.
Almost my entire life, yeah.
Well, it is certainly reassuring to know that there's such a practiced person in Vertrag for the mother. Again, I have not met any from Vertrag, especially of born and raised Elven descent, but to know that there's someone there that practices the faith, I'm very happy to hear, honestly.
I'm surprised that you would think that there wouldn't be followers of the faith. Surprisingly, I don't see many humans here, obviously, but back home, a good like 60% of our followers were human.
Well, while not surprising, I'm sure the congregations are usually very much heavy with wherever you are preaching. But we cater to all kinds. I'm sure you're as a priest of the faith, you're familiar with all the different burial rites and things of different cultures and races and the different gods and how they like the prepare after the transition from death to the afterlife.
Oh, of course, of course. But when I was first entered into the church, it was mostly elves. I just thought that it was going to be a mostly elven religion, and now as I've come up, I've learned, I've met all these different wonderful people. I don't know what to say. It's such a beautiful thing how we serve more than just our own race, you know?
Well, as I said earlier, it is the one thing we all share, isn't it?
It is. Lovely church, by the way.
Thank you. We do try to keep it up to the standard that we would assume the mother would want. And again, the process of transitioning from life to death is scary for most to deal with. So the least we could do is, when you have to be here for a very somber occasion, keep the place friendly, intact.
I'd call it sparse, but it's utilitarian. The stained glass is beautiful. How old is this church? How long have you guys been here?
This church was made, I want to say, 400 years ago.
Seemed pretty new.
Make a deception check.
3.
She giggles. She kind of smiles at you. Just she appreciates the humor, though you were maybe not trying to be humorous about it.
No, it wasn't. It was intended as a joke, but awkwardly. I had a question for you, Laura. I don't remember what it was. You mind if we take a seat?
Of course, please have a seat. More than willing to chat with someone of the faith, especially someone with a very different perspective on the mother and her worship from somewhere I've not been. I'm actually intrigued to hear what you have to say.
Well, my main question between differences, I wanted to talk to you about your burial rites. I noticed some of your customs with how you start and end a sermon are different. How do you start your morning worship? How do you start your funeral? Everything. Just want a general idea of like how they do it versus how I do it. Don't really need to go into detail.
Well, that's fair, I guess. So yeah, it depends. As I was saying, it truly does depend on the person themselves. Different races, different religions have different rites that they usually want as part of the actual ceremony of preparing the body, or where they are to be buried, or how they are to be buried, if they're to be buried. I've done several at sea burials. I've done that's mostly the goblin folk. For some reason they think that gets them closer to the god. I don't know them. That one does kind of throw me off. As
You bury goblins?
of course.
I don't think I've ever buried a goblin.
All right, this is very important. So depending on how, I will allow you to decide this for Vinton. How is he trying to convey that statement? Is it more so he's never had the opportunity to bury a goblin? Or has he seen dead goblins and not thought we should bury them?
Let's go with the first one. the second one's amusing the shit out of me because I wanted to see where that would go, but it was more so the first one.
Okay. Yes. Not having the opportunity to. Okay.
Yeah, I just never thought like, do we have goblins in Utrecht? I don't even remember it. I don't think I've ever seen a dead goblin person. Have we even met a goblin person? I don't know.
You watched a bunch get caught by slavers.
I mean, they're not real. They're not real people.
Oh my god.
You met one.
You did also meet one.
Yeah, we did meet one, but I mean, like prior to any of this.
I have it on good authority. That's my story. The expert has said that you simply leave their bodies mangled in the middle of a field.
Because I'm trying to think like if I never really see or interact with goblins, would I consider them like one of the races, right? One of the races that matter.
So you're racist too now.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, do I?
It sounds even worse, right? Because he's saying they're not even a race.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
That's what I'm like. I'm relatively educated, all right, but I don't know if I would like give a shit about goblins at all, even if they're like one of the races. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So like, if I've never buried a goblin, then I wouldn't consider them people. They're just bigger, smarter bullywugs. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
Those are all fair points. I mean, so again, things you would know is obviously you have in Vertrag, you've never seen a lot of like a goblin. You've never seen a goblin civilization.
Yeah.
Personally, like you've heard of like Roman camps and obviously you've seen goblins like here or there, like someone like Finnegan, or that like either was working for somebody or whether it's paid or otherwise. But yeah, I would say your interaction with goblins probably wasn't very extensive.
Okay, I'm just gonna go with I haven't buried one then. It's like I would have been exposed to them to the point where it's like, oh, they're like, they talk to people all prior to the whole party thing. So yeah, okay, yeah, let's go with that.
Cool.
Yeah, I never had an opportunity to bury a goblin, so I'm unfamiliar with their practices.
Yeah, again, we've done a few. They have a very interesting burial rite. It's mostly, again, they like to be set adrift, and then their hope is that eventually they will sink, and that will return them to Orgoth, their god.
Orgoth.
But yeah, other than that, it's if you talk about an elven burial, those are usually those are obviously more of what we do, but obvious reasons, we don't do them very often, as they take a while.
I've had to bury a few, sadly.
Sorry to hear that. But simple burial, prayer in the morning, usually followed by a procession to their chosen place. Now, depending on where they die and how they want the funeral to be carried out, I've had ones that started here and then trekked all the way to the capital. I've had ones that trek all the way out towards the Gleaming Cove. But usually I do in town burials, so it starts here at the church, and we proceed to one of the burial plots outside of town. Couple of church officials. My predecessor died a few years back. Is buried on the church grounds to make sure they stay close to the mother and protect this place.
Standard procedure.
Of course. Yeah, that's about what we do.
I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this.
Where are the bodies?
Something like that.
¿Dónde están las bodies?
I had heard in the homeland. That you guys do something special with the blood separation ritual.
Make a persuasion check.
6.
I'm sorry, the what?
Fuck. You know, the blood separation ritual. Some people call it draining. Usually, when we bury the bodies, we take the blood out. No, is that not done here?
I mean, I've never done that. I've made that. I've heard something similar to an orcish burial. They well, okay, so that's one of the more interesting one, I suppose. You've never done an orcish burial? Or
Orc
have
no,
you?
no, orc no.
Oh, okay. So, the orcish people actually, they find death to actually be an insult to the clan or to the tribe that they belong to, because obviously they are very much a show of strength. They like to show how strong they are in their number, and if you die, you are leaving the tribe less powerful, less protected. So they actually, fun fact, the orcs developed taxidermy, because what they would do is they would take the body, drain it of its blood, and stuff it essentially, and set them up around their tribes to act as that way. If anyone was coming by, they looked like their number had not dwindled.
Fascinating.
So that's what you're talking about.
No, not in the slightest. What I was taught and what I practice was that the blood is sacred because blood is what allows life to flow. So when we place the body in the ground, we'd anoint them with their own blood with tears. The rest would be poured around the body in a circle. We'd say our prayers and send them to the mother. You guys really don't do the blood thing?
That is, I mean, it's beautiful sounding, yes. But no, I've never performed that type of ritual here. I've seen it done, haven't seen it done either.
Huh. I've been, maybe it's a retrag thing.
It's very possible. I would, I would imagine that Vertragans develop their own. That their cultures are very different than ours. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the early, um, Sorenlin practitioners there um, developed rituals based off of the people that they were mostly doing burial rites for. Um, so I wouldn't be surprised if that maybe is like a Vertragian ritual. Again, it sounds beautiful. It sounds in line with what we would do. I've like I said, I've encountered some very interesting burial rites over the years, and sometimes they are personal. I've seen some people who just have either a written document or a contract signed of what they would like to do with their body once they've passed, that are outside of the norm for either their religion or their race, and we of course uphold that. That is our job is to oversee the transition of death however that person deemed appropriate.
Interesting. That seems very in depth and all, but from where I come from, all life, no matter what race, is sacred to the mother. So, like the orcish ritual and whatever other fancy things, everybody gets the same treatment.
Certainly sounds like it would make life easier.
I wouldn't say easy, but it's what's right. I would bury an orc, a goblin, a human, all the same.
Fascinating. It's definitely something to consider. I thank you. Again, I'm intrigued to hear how things are done in Vertragen. I'm glad that it sounds like what though different than what we do here, it's still beautiful, still celebrates that transition period, and it sounds like you're doing what's right for your people.
I don't like this lady anymore. She's too soft, man. Well, this was lovely. What was the name of this church again? The I know what it is. I'm talking to her.
Oh,
The Our Lady.
Our Lady of Sorrow.
Sorrow. I saw that statue up front. Beautiful depiction. Matches the name.
Yes, it depicts the moment the mother was informed of her brother's decision.
Her brother's decision. I know what that is.
Make a religion check.
8.
Man. I don't know, man. Crowan makes a lot of decisions that piss people off, so it could be any number of things.
Imagine not knowing about your religion.
See, I want to ask her now. Like, remind me what the decision is, but I feel like that's a really fucking stupid question to ask. How I don't know this of all things. Unless it's something different from what I usually know. Which I don't even know if I know. Fuck.
There's no knowns and there's unknown unknowns. Things that you don't know that you don't know.
All right, I'll phrase it like a joke. Yes, a decision. I wonder if the retract decision was different than the Faltherian decision. And see what she says.
Make a persuasion check.
Boom.
Nice.
Where was this 6 rolls ago?
Let's tell a story, man.
See, sometimes you just gotta play stupid.
Man.
She kind of giggles. Of course, yes. No, the yeah, of course, the the decision. The decision of the results of the Second Grand Covenant, the depiction of the moment that in Crowan's displeasure of the creation of other races added to the world, that they would be allowed to continue, but only at the cost of the sacrifice.
Same. All right, we did it. We match. We match on something. Ha ha ha.
Not
Ha ha
Tinder.
ha. But the difference is that we never paid homage to the sacrifice. This, I'll like turn and gesture to the coin thing. Not a thing. Don't understand it.
Your church doesn't pay homage to the sacrifice.
Does not.
Make an insight check.
25.
Hey.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Doing it.
You see a couple of emotions kind of like, well, she still keeps that, again, very, very soft smile, plain like face, like soft, friendly eyes, but there's definitely a twinge and a moment of both confusion and concern by that statement.
You're looking at me weird, but you misunderstand. Those 6 lives, those 6 souls do not go to the mother. I understand why they must do what they have to do, but they don't go to the mother. For that, we reject it. We allow it to exist. We respect it for what it is, but we won't pay honor to it.
Take it as you said. Thoughts and things in Vertrag are certainly different than how we see them here. Though I do not question you or your faith and your interpretation. But we believe that not all souls go to the mother. The mother's place is to look over death and the transition of death, but souls ultimately go to where they belong. If you worship the mother, or you are an elf that does not worship any particular deity, which again exists and is fine, you would return to the mother once your life has ended here. But a worshiper of Crowan would go to Crowan, and a follower of the sacrifice who could pay reverence in the afterlife there, and so on and so forth. Like the gods have their own afterlives.
I am gritting my teeth, just like trying not to simultaneously laugh and scream at this woman.
The only difference being the sacrifice is obviously a penance, for those particular souls go nowhere. Essentially, they become and empower the sacrifice itself to remind us of the second grand covenant, and that, while Crowan was displeased with the actions of his sister and the other demigods that created their own beings, that he is at least somewhat merciful and didn't just wipe them all out. Just required a reminder.
This lady is batshit fucking crazy now. She is so far off the fucking mark. All right. I am just trying to hold my shit together. Yes, Crowan's very merciful. Yes. So anyway. Yeah, merciful. Yeah, sure. I had asked around, and I see here there's a couple other churches to the mother. I believe one was the Bleeding Heart. Are you affiliated with them, or?
I mean, we're all affiliated in the sense that we all worship and serve the mother. The Bleeding Heart is kind of a smaller niche. It's more of a temple. There's not really an active um, priest or priestess there. It's more for those that are looking for quiet reflection. It has a small library of different religious texts and historical documents related to the worship of Soren Lin and some of her early followers. There's a curator there that is, she is priestly ordained, but I don't. She does not give sermon as we do here. But yeah, it's like I said, we are not directly affiliated, but we're all worshippers of the mother.
Interesting. All right, I think I'll pay it a visit sometime this afternoon. Well, it was lovely. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Do you mind if I step up here for a sec before I leave? I'll like gesture to the altar.
She gestures. Of course, please.
Get up there, walk around, examine the place a little bit, step behind the altar, look out on the pews. I'm just gonna stand there and stare out for a minute. What's she doing?
You see, as you kind of take your place there, you're looking out that she recognizes that you're in the moment and just isn't gonna like she kind of starts to like walk away slightly. She's still within earshot, not leaving the general chamber, but she's not like watching you.
She's not like paying attention.
No.
Oh. All right. For shits and giggles, anyway. I was gonna stand there like I was gonna read a sermon. I was gonna hold the book up, bring it to my chest, and then use thaumaturgy and make the candles flicker, and then start my way, then walk out.
Make a performance check.
Fuck do I roll for performance?
Performance.
There's
a button.
Wow, there is a button. 9.
Cool. So you get up there, you take a breath, you take in again this very large church and kind of look out, and I think you get that moment of like, this could have been, still could be in the cards for you, something of this scale. You picture, I think, those pews full, have that moment of like, I could teach them. I could teach them, especially after their actions. You open, I'm assuming you said your book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You open your book, cast thaumaturgy, the lights, the candles kind of flicker a little bit. She doesn't seem to turn or react, but you've made your presence known. You close your book, and you head out.
Did it. On to the next one.
Yep. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Valir,
Yes, sir.
I hear you're heading to a tavern.
Head into a tavern. How'd you know? Who told you?
Little birdie. I'll kill him. Cool. Yeah, easy enough for you. I assumed you got directions from probably like the bartender as you were asking around about what you were asking about the individual who dropped off the package.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you make your way northward, kind of to the nicer upper class district of this town. You do start to see, again, similar to what make a perception check actually, or insight, your choice.
Okay. Is it insight or
Perception.
perception? Oh, let's go perception.
Very nice. You start to as you make your way through the center of town. It's very very populated early in the morning, and you were in for Trag for a little while, and you definitely noticed like the slower pace of the mornings there. Especially like with people who require a full night's sleep. Elves tend to run on more of a early bird schedule, faster pace in the morning, quick, getting things done. So you haven't felt this in a while of this, oh, it's first thing in the morning and everybody's up, everyone's doing something, their day has started. But also like the general kindness in people. You catch eyes with a few people as you pass by, and people are quick to, even if it's just a subtle nod, a good morning. For the first time, probably in a while, you don't feel like you're out of place somewhere. But also for Valir, you feel like you're very out of place here. And I'll ask, what are you wearing?
I am wearing my nice new attire.
Cool. Cool. So yeah, so you got again plenty of good mornings, hellos. People are just general niceties.
Mhm.
You make your way straight northward. You start to get to kind of this more upper class district. You start to see more finely dressed people. You start to see outfits and designs and fabrics of higher quality, and you start to be able. You're picking them out. Like you're going through a game that you probably used to play with yourself as a kid and just like naming the different, brand or like family or house different like outfits came from, different threads came from. Like
Mhm.
you are now more in your element, and you are seeing like these upper crust people going about their morning routines, slightly less friendly in this area where people acknowledge you because you're, still a very nicely dressed elven man, but more people who are just kind of in their own business.
Yeah.
But you eventually come upon this, comparatively to the one you're staying at, very lavish set up tavern, more of a hotel. It seems 6 stories, beautiful carved front entryway, fine elven make everywhere. You see different banners and tapestries are kind of hung from the walls to kind of give this like nice feel of upper class. But you do see a sign that just says the Open Sea Tavern.
Well, I make my way in there.
Cool. So you make your way as you make your way inside. First thing you notice is there's a small, like, not small, but like a sitting pond slash fountain that's kind of like in this front room. It's got the water like trickling down. There are small groups of like, not doves, but like, I guess would it be a swan? Yeah, it'd be a swan. There's like 2 swans just chilling, just floating around, looking pretty. There's a front desk that looks like it's for the hotel guests. Then there's a small, quaint, like circular bar with a bunch of people who are definitely drinking first thing in the morning, but like you can tell. Actually, no, make a perception check as you enter too.
Cool. 9.
Okay. Even with a 9, you're not sure what they're drinking. You know that they're definitely drinking first thing in the morning, and it's not like your basic ales and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is what you see. Nice dressed elven gentleman behind this like little front like kiosk desk, and there are 2 bartenders currently working this like small circular bar. Couple people in the lobby first thing in the morning, probably no more than a dozen. Some of them are eating what look to be fancy breakfasts. Others are having liquid breakfasts. And then towards the back, you see there's a set of circular staircases that go up.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also in the center of it an arcane lift.
Okay. Let's see. Um, I make my way to the bar area,
Okay.
and as I pass the front desk, I give them a nod, trying to feel like I belong there, like I've been there for.
Okay. Make a persuasion or a deception check, your choice.
Is it persuasion or
Persuasion or
deception?
deception.
Okay.
14. The front person at the front desk kind of gives you like a quick look and then nods back. Doesn't seem to, clock you for not being not supposed to be here. But you make your way over to the bar.
I slowly make my way to barkeep while scoping the area, seeing if I see anyone familiar.
Sure. Give me a that will be an investigation check.
Too early.
Yeah. Taking a look around, no one stands out. Like I said, there's the 2 bartenders. There's probably 3 patrons that are sitting at the bar that look like they're just drinking, and then there's like a couple of these like small tables that a couple of people are either sitting and having breakfast. No one that catches your eye as someone familiar.
Okay. Keep making my way to the barkeep and call him over.
Sorry. Pull up the other notes. Cool. One of the okay. You see the female bartender comes over. Hi, good morning. What can I get for you?
Oh, yes. Just some water and some very light some light ale for this morning.
Sure thing, not a problem. Water and a light ale. You see her start to pull out. She pulls out a glass, puts water in front of you, goes over and pops some sort of tap into a small like keg under the bar and pours you a glass of very pale colored ale. Brings it over and sets it in front of you. Not served. First thing you notice is not served in like a heavy wooden tankard. Nothing that you've been drinking out of like at these like tavern bars and the hours glass type things. Like these are pretty nice glasses. Like they are a step above anything you've had probably since like the cafe back in Ashfeller.
You see my posture kind of straighten out. And I'm like, okay, this is I remember this, and I start drinking. And while the bartender is there, I just ask like, hey, question for you: have you seen a person around wearing similar pattern clothing as myself around here?
Um, it's hard to say. I mean, that's a very lovely tunic attire you have there, but sorry, it's not ringing any bells. Anything? I see a lot of people wearing a lot of fine clothes, so sorry, it's not standing out to me.
Very valid point. It's been a while since I've been around people who appreciate some good fabric and outfits around here. I've been kind of wandering around for some time now, and man, I just missed being around. How do you say it? I guess you could say people of culture around here. You know, enjoying the finer things in life.
Well, I can certainly understand that. I'm surrounded by it every day.
Um, would you know who would have a better gauge or better who's better with faces and remembers who's around here?
Um, I mean, you could ask Warren behind the front desk of the kiosk for the hotel itself. I mean, he checks everybody in usually for most of the day. Um, good luck getting information out of him. You know how high society is. Part of the luxury experience is not letting people know when you're somewhere you are. If you know what I mean.
Yes, I understand. They like to be very private and secretive of what they're doing.
Of course.
Before I finish my ale and all, can you bring me your finest wine, please? The whole bottle, please.
What about it? Do you want it uncorked or do you want it
Uncorked.
very well? You see her she gets up, has to leave the bar area as it's a fancy bar, and therefore we are keeping it in the wine cellar. She disappears. She leaves probably for a couple, like 5 to 10 minutes. Eventually comes back with a very nice bottle of wine. Make a history or no, I'll say history. History.
Okay.
There
Hey.
it is. Perfectly balanced. Um, yeah. So what she comes back with is you would know it to be a very fine elven wine. This comes actually not too far north from where you are from. There, Lear. One of the smaller vineries outside of what is it again? Silicon Valley. There it is. Sorry, gotta track all these town names. But yeah, so yeah, small vinery outside of the Silicon Valley. Very expensive, very fancy.
Thank you very much. This will definitely suffice.
Oh, not a problem. You see, she uncorks it. You're gonna want to let that sit in. You already know, like you let her finish as a courtesy, but you are familiar with what this wine needs to be at its best. To a boy with that nat 20 on this, you see her pull out a couple of wine glasses, and you immediately are like, Actually, for this type of wine, you're not going to want, the wide mouth glasses. You're actually going to want something with like a taller,
Yeah.
profile to let the wine kind of like sit in the glass a little bit more. So you correct her on which glass that you need to make this wine taste better.
Uh, yes. This is the type of glass you need for future reference. Feel free to keep that as your tip.
You see her kind of blush a little bit. It's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry for that. Thank you so much. So yeah, for the ale and the bottle of wine, that'll come out to 12 gold pieces.
Not a problem. We'll hand over the 12 pieces of gold.
Cool. She will scoop that up. She hands you the bottle. She hands you. She goes to hand you a pair of glasses, but it's up to you if you want to correct her, because you did not specify.
Yeah, it's true. I'll take the glasses.
Okay.
And I get up and make my way back to the front desk, but survey the bar area once more before I head out.
Sure. Give me another investigation check.
Trash.
Getting better. only one way to go is up right now. So yeah, looking around. Probably been here about a half hour between getting the cups and getting the wine and letting the wine sit and just kind of chatting about comings and goings and see if she could point out anybody who looked familiar. You see a couple, like two of the people that were at the bar when you got here are still here. One of them had left at some point during your conversation. Two others had shown up, ordered a drink, and seemed to just be. It seems to be a couple of some sort that are just having a morning, drink before they go about their day. But nobody else that stands out.
All right. I make my way to the front desk.
All right.
And remind me again what the bartender told me his name was?
Warren.
Warren. Go up. Good morning, Warren. How are you?
Good day, sir. How are you this fine day? How may I assist you?
Yes. Well, I'm supposed to be meeting in person here. They were very vague with their details, but they told me that they were here. Um, Kind of has similar fabric to what I have, similar clothing and all. Initials VW. Sir, are they here?
Make a persuasion check. That's not. Hmm. Vague indeed. I'm usually not supposed to talk about guests. But did you? You said dressed similar to you. Familiar?
Oh, I said yes. Dressed similar to me.
Hmm. Let's see. You see, he kind of leans over. Yes, pale, beigeish in that seafoam green. Yes, kind of looks at
Heading
your.
out the door.
kind of gets close, kind of is like looking at the fabric, looking at your face. Interesting. Is this he kind of like points at your outfit. Is that Warson sock? Yes.
Yes, it is. And I gotta say, you have a nice keen eye for high quality fabrics.
I'm the gatekeeper to high society here at the Open Sea Tavern. It is my part of my job to make sure I don't let any of the knockoff um that is a fine piece you have on.
Thank you, thank you,
Actually,
thank you.
huh. You know, I haven't seen that style. It has to be new. It's not been I haven't seen anything like it recently. Except there was one person. She was here. I think she checked in 2 days ago, if I recall.
Yes, she is the one who gifted this to me. 2 days ago, you say? Is she still around?
I need you to make another persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Still not bad. See, you see, he kind of looks at you, kind of looks at the outfit, and sees the bottle of wine and the two glasses in your hand. One moment, and you see, he kind of like pulls out like a guest log and he starts flipping through it. You know, I'm really not supposed to do this, but who am I to get in the way?
Appreciate the effort.
Yes, I do have checked in 2 days ago, was here for 3 nights. Has not checked out as far as my records say. I can't say. You know how some people are. Some like to exit early if they are on a whim, but wouldn't be the first time. I haven't seen her yet today. There's a chance she's still here.
Thank you for checking. Now I know I've been pushing my luck so far, and I thank you for being helpful to me and working with me here. Would be a possibility if you could have someone escort me to her room, if that's possible.
I'm really not supposed to give out guests' room information, unfortunately. I can leave her a note if that is
Okay, I figure as much. That thankfully I bought this, and I set the wine on the desk and about a piece of parchment paper and start writing her a note, which I will send you later.
sound good.
and I'm like writing it, and I'm like, yes, please take this to her room whenever, and yeah, hopefully she reads it and sees it, and if you happen to see her, I might be sticking around here for a couple minutes or so. So thank you very much for your help.
Yep. So you hand over the note and the bottle. Of course, sir. That is not a problem. I will make sure it's sent up to her room right away.
Thank you very much. And who knows, for your help, maybe I could get you something more up to date, pointing at his outfit and stuff.
Well, I will certainly never say no to a new outfit.
uh, Figured as much. He seemed like a very, very dapper gentleman, and I'm sure you would appreciate some fine fabric in here. And I nod my head and I start heading out.
You're just gonna leave the tavern.
Um, no, I think I'll go back to the tavern and just sit. Yeah, I'll just stay in the tavern and just sit there for a little bit.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Cool.
Very good. So as you start to make your way back over to the bar setup and you start to have a seat, you see Warren calls down young elven gentleman, probably, definitely it is like early, like 50s, maybe 100 at the most. You see him kind of hand him the bottle, the piece of parchment, whisper something in his ear, and you see the young gentleman with the bottle start to head towards the stairs.
I hmm. Let's. Let's go for it. I am gonna try to follow this dude without being seen by Warren.
Give me a stealth check. So you wait, a couple seconds. You wait for the young bellhop man to start to make his way over to the stairs and head up. You kind of veer off from the bar, try to blend into the morning traffic, heading towards the staircase. Warren doesn't seem to pay any attention to you. But as you get closer to the stairs, you do see this rather hulking, probably 8 foot tall Goliath gentleman who is in just a fine, like, 3-piece suit, fully bald shaven head, 2 like gold piercings in his ear. And as you kind of like approach the staircase and the lift, he was kind of like sitting outside of like the frame of where the space was. And as you kind of cross that threshold, he kind of like looks at you and he's like, "Good morning, sir. Can I help you?"
Good morning. No, not at all. I'm just taking the stairs.
Right. Can I see your key?
I don't have my key actually. My roommate has the key. That's why I'm taking the stairs.
Make a make a deception check. This is
That's not gonna happen.
dice tell a story, man. Oh, yep, no problem. We'll go over to Warren. We'll get you, get the logs in, make sure you're good to go, and you get on your way. Come on.
Oh, that's just. Oh, you know what? Let me check in with Warren myself. No need for you to get up. I do. I need the exercise. No need for you to get up here.
You see, he just stood up from his chair. He like gets to his full towering, like 8.5, 9 feet tall. He's like, all right, yeah, no problem. Yeah, go check in with Warren. Just let him know that you forgot your room key. Your friend took it upstairs. As soon as he gives me the okay, pop right up. No worries.
Thank you very much. And must I say, you remind me of one of my friends. He's a big man, just like yourself, and he actually got himself a nice nice suit recently that he's waiting for to be made.
Nice. Yeah, no, nothing makes a man like a nice suit, you know? You can be big and intimidating, but a fine suit just puts the nice cherry on top.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you on that. Well, you have yourself a nice morning.
You as well.
I go back downstairs and try to make my way to the bar again without Warren seeing me.
Make another stealth.
Dude, what is that?
You as you make your way back, you see Warren is talking to like another couple, like they're checking in, not paying attention to you at all. You make your way back through over
Jeez.
to the bar.
I just shake my head, sit down, and I order food. I just stay there. I'm like, I might as well just eat.
Fair enough. You get a little table. They bring you out. You order just nice breakfast. Are you getting just food, another drink? What's the damage?
Yeah, just food and just water. No ale, no nothing.
Okay. So for a for that breakfast, we'll run you 5 gold.
Okay.
Gotta get them hotel prices.
Yeah, I know.
And then just how long do you plan on staying here? I guess is the question.
Say like 40 to an hour.
Okay.
Enjoying, trying to relax, enjoying this fine food that I haven't had in like a while.
Oh yeah. You've been eating a lot of
Yeah,
boat food.
yeah.
And good berries.
Sorry.
And good berries.
Vessel food and good
Vessel food.
Cool. So yeah, you sit down, you treat yourself to a nice breakfast, some peace and quiet. Again, there's a nice ambiance music being played, but you don't see any performers. It's kind of just like in the air or some sort of enchantment. Give me one more perception check.
Cool.
Or yeah, perception. Sit there and you enjoy a nice breakfast, taking in some of the finer accoutrement of this nice establishment, something you haven't seen in a long time. And honestly, just anything's better than traveling in a cart or being on a vessel or a deserted island, which has been your life for the last month and a half.
Pretty much.
You wrap up your breakfast, sit there for an hour or so. Meanwhile, back at the Saki Sahagwin, Suji, Zaishori, 7,
Yeah.
Ravi. I was on roll 20. I didn't know Chris was not at his chair. Right now.
Suji come back.
You could blame it all on me.
Suji come back.
I like to now imagine that this episode obviously has been very focused on individuals, and the first line that Brad has said for this entire thing is singing Suchi come back.
I said another line. I made a comment on Zai Shori and her love of goblin murder.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. The 2 lines you have in this episode are Zaishori's love of goblin murder and singing for Suji.
Iconic.
Did you come back?
Can't reach that bitch.
I'm gonna grab a snack while he's gone.
A good idea.
Good snack grab.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
Snack. Snack time.
It's fun if it's a blur. Yes.
Quick, while Joe's away, say all of the things that we're not supposed to. Go, go, go.
I think he forgot.
Comes back. Your channel has been banned.
Beep. Hip. Oh yeah.
Chris, I love how your camera went for your empty chair, and then you came back and turned your camera off.
Yeah, it's kind of my way of subtly being like BRB without saying it.
Eh,
I didn't notice because I was looking at Roll20, and when I clicked back after saying Suji and everybody, we're gonna cut to you, and didn't know you weren't there. So after like 5 seconds of an awkward pause, I went back and like, Chris isn't here. That would explain why he didn't answer me.
good
You
times.
just see Chris staring at you saying,
But yes. This is one of the best, cheapest Nerf guns I have ever owned. It shoots Nerf balls
Nice.
the bells.
at 100 feet per second.
That's terrifying.
It was $8.
Man, I got 3 guns for cheaper than that.
I know. This is some Target.
Our guns are cheap.
Yeah. Go away
Yeah.
from the sales.
We did a Secret Santa at my job, and I'm like, what does somebody want? And it was a white elephant gift, and I'm like, what would somebody want? $25 worth of Nerf guns? Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
You know how many Nerf guns you can get for $25?
like
Target?
at least 3.
So I got 6 of like the handheld like one shot ones, but
Yeah.
like the good ones that are like
Yeah.
got popped to them.
Yeah.
Those things were $250 each.
Jesus.
So I'm like, I'm about to get this person like 12 guns, like 12 Nerf guns, and start an office war because that's what my job needed.
That sounds awesome.
So clearly, then,
Yeah.
Roach that morning before work went onto social media and said, "I'm bringing a bunch of guns in the office today. Everybody better watch out."
Yeah.
They're gonna be in for a surprise.
Let's just say I've got an excessive amount of ammunition. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, the Nerf balls cost more than the thing did.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's like
I
10
got one plan for every person in this office.
Yeah. Yeah, so we shot the Home Depot girl with it, and now she has like little welts all over her leg. Because I made a rule that there's one rule: you can either take a shot or get shot as long as you don't bring up the names or say anything about any of your exes. And she couldn't do that.
Oh my gosh.
So,
I thought that statement was gonna give me more clarity what the fuck you were talking about. But I just have more questions because your first statement made me believe you just walked into a Home Depot and shot somebody.
No, it's how some people refer to her as.
Do you remember Anthony talking about Home Depot girl?
Of course I do.
It's the
That's
same
who
girl,
he's talking about.
I see.
the Home Depot girl. Because I found out that instead of listening to all the reasonable advice I gave her, she's now instead just straight up calling him instead of blocking him on social media. Things like, It's like I was just tired of hearing his name. I grew up with his sister. Family's weird.
Are we still on stream?
Yeah.
It's
No.
fine.
Yeah.
just airing out people's laundry out here.
That's why I'm not using names.
Drag them all. Fuck it. Are we all back?
Yeah,
Suji, Saishori, 7,
yeah.
Revi.
Home Depot girl.
If you're watching, I hope you're enjoying this. If not, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
He's not.
I don't care if they're enjoying it. I'm fucking loving it.
Fair enough.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Anyway, the four of you, as Vinteth and Valir split off to go run their own morning errands, I believe your plan was to go to the forge to set Suji up and then get 7 buffed.
Yeah, and maybe something new for Zaishuri.
Yes. Cool. So
Now, you guys used all the nat 20, so we're only rolling ones now.
Whoops.
You'll be fine.
So the four of you make your way the short distance from here, the Sagi Sahagwin, which is on kind of closer to the water, kind of down the docks a little bit more inland, over to Ways, blacksmithery.
Smelted and dilted.
He did
Yeah.
indeed smelt it and dealt. But yeah, the scene is yours for is there anything you guys want to talk about on your way there, or pick up when you get
Well,
to the blacksmith.
Yeah, we'll just say we're having just general chat about the day and the trip in the town so far, so 7 doesn't cause him panic again. So I think someone will get hit in a heavily populated town with the javelin.
Oh my god.
So, Suji,
Yes, Rob.
have you decided on your use of that spell yet?
Not at all. I feel like I have a few days, once I get to a certain point, that might be a little more tricky to deal with. Maybe some of the small latches or small bends, since it's a cat like body. Maybe that's when I'll use it.
Well, I was more so. Well, I mean, you could any time. I mean, unless you plan on accidentally killing it. But my question was more of the form. I guess I never really considered it for you because for me it was an easy one. It was always going to be a Tressum. They meant something to me when I was younger.
I haven't really thought about it. I don't know too much about it. So can it just be like any type of familiar type animal or specific?
DM, I know the actual rules for Find Familiar. I don't know if there's any differences for your campaign.
Yeah, everything's on the table. Small beast creatures. You can go into small elemental type beings. Couple of different fiends. It's kind of open. It's kind of what suits you, Suji. What do you think would be this shape of? Because essentially, because Find Familiar basically bonding a spirit of some kind, whether it's fiend, fae, or celestial. God, I forgot the word for angel. That was weird. That's how you know it's been a while. Fiend, fae, or celestial spirit to you as your familiar, and then the form can take what you want it to be the first time you cast it, and then also you can change the form, to whatever but it just costs like basically recasting the spell.
Yeah. So whatever your first one is, that'll be not permanent, but permanent for now since it's your only casting.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I would just respond to you then. Well, Suji. I mean, someone practiced in the Druidic arts. I would expect you. Do you have a lot of thoughts of the different life forms out there, and one you might get along with the best, so to speak?
Yeah, it's kind of like the bears have been cool and all, but I feel like we wouldn't be able to hang around each other for a long period of time.
Yeah, well,
You and Tinker seem to get along pretty well, so I need to find something like that.
oh, absolutely. Right from the start, we did.
I think I'll definitely stay away from goblins just because of a certain someone in our group, but well, we'll see. I feel like I'm gonna let this spell really come to me when I most need it. When I just absolutely know what kind of familiar would be perfect. So, why'd you pick Tinker's Tressum as your familiar?
Well, back home, working with my father in the workshop, doing what we did, mostly prosthetics, but some other assorted projects. There were always Tressums that kind of roamed the land near us, and so I had seen them, flying in packs and walking by, just generally, going around when I was a child. Um, my father always believed they were a sign of good luck, and so I took that to heart.
Oh, so it really reminds you of like your childhood and everything. So I guess that makes sense.
I mean, lots of good times. My childhood, my father, who I'm very thankful I've been able to communicate with a bit over the last week, and he's doing well too. But yes, so a bit of nostalgia and a bit of remembering lots of good times. Not that this journey hasn't been, but it's different. It's a new chapter, but it doesn't mean that I want to put away the old.
I think that'll give me deeper reflecting on what I might want my familiar to be. So very useful to me. Thank you, Robbie. But
Good. I'm glad I could help. I mean, you're you're helping out me and hopefully my familiar in the process. So it's the least I can do.
hopefully it'll be something very surprising and awesome when you come back. Since it probably
Well,
will be decided around then.
this is a unique attempt, Suji. I've known not a lot of wizards, but enough practicing spellcasters while I was in the Faltherian Academy, and I can't say I've ever seen any of them attempt to do something like this. So I'm excited to see how it goes. Maybe in the process you'll connect more with Hondrick too. Maybe learn more about what he wants from you long term.
True. Do you think I could have a mini Hondrick helping me as my spirit?
I have never tried to turn a familiar into a smaller version of a deity, and I don't necessarily think I would.
Yeah, I feel like he might be a grumpy enough guy to not like that.
I don't know. Did he seem like he was full of cheer and humor?
I think he was more happy at the end, but he was a little intense initially. I might just stay away from that idea for now.
Fair enough.
Let me check in on Wei. I feel like seeing him, especially since I'm gonna be there for a few days.
Sounds good. I'll follow you.
So I walked to Wei's.
Four of you, as you're kind of walking and talking, eventually, maybe less than 10 minutes, you get over to the familiar side of the front entryway to Way Smelt It and Dealt It. They are open, bright and early.
Oh, yes.
I like knock on the door, walk in.
Okay. Oh, morning. Guys sleep in?
I mean, this is kind of normal for us. How long have you been here already?
I've been up for like 4 hours.
Me too.
See, he gets it.
It's like I never sleep.
Maybe because we have a human in our party that we usually like stay in a bit later. I'm not quite used to being up this early.
Hey, no worries. I just been getting place ready. You said early, so I was, up at my normal time. But yeah, Forge is yours. I got my stuff all wrapped up. I left out some basic tools. I'm probably just, I'll be around. Obviously, I want to watch a little bit, and if you need a set of hands, I can, pitch in where needed. But for the most part, I'm probably just gonna run the storefront. As the signs say, smelt it and dealt it. We do sell a lot of things I make here, so.
Well, if you want to help out real quick, Seven over here, he wanted to be buffed. He wants to be a bit more shiny and clean.
Yeah, I'm covered in stuff.
That is fantastic. Hi, you said 7.
Yes.
That is a pleasure to meet you, Dory Way.
Nice to meet you too, Dory Way.
Gives you a nice firm handshake and give me an insight check. So,
all right. Let's see how. Nope.
You notice nothing.
I noticed nothing.
But yeah, it's well built. For you, Seven, the one thing you do notice, and this is just easy by comparison, he is an elven gentleman, probably later, like mid age, but he is, compared to the ones that you've been hanging out with, Suji, Revi, Vinteth, and Valir. This man is built like he is just
He's a strong boy.
yeah. So that
He's an elf, right? As well.
he is an elf, yeah, but he is compared to the lithe elf that the 4 of you are, a very physically gifted gentleman.
Hey man, I'm just super lean, man. All right.
I just say you guys are live. You all have functional muscle, except maybe Suji. But
Oh, it's a good handshake. Much better than my parties. What did you eat to get like this?
normal, just everyday food, I guess. I don't know. I work a lot in carrying large, heavy pieces of metal and shaping them for hours upon hour. Look, I get it. I am the exception, not the rule in my race. It's but hey, takes all kinds, right?
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure the larger muscles would have helped in my prior line of work.
I think it would have.
I think you would say that regardless, Seven.
If you were as large as I probably would not have.
But yeah, you said just looking to get cleaned up, a little buffed. I can help out with that. That's not a problem. Can do I need anything else? So you have another friend here I haven't met yet. Hi, I'm Dory Way.
Hello.
This is the human we were talking about. She's just a bit shy.
Oh, like I said, takes all kinds. No worries. Welcome to my shop. If you need anything, just let me know.
Thank you.
I'd like to see somewhere, so I would like a new weapon as well. That's all right.
As would I.
Dory Way.
Cool, fantastic. Yeah, I got some weapons. What's your poison? What suits your fancy?
2-handed.
Two-handed. All right. Kind of looks like he's like now is starting to see the giant like handles of the great axe and the broadsword on your back.
I mostly use my fist, but I like having an assortment of things just in case.
All right, cool. Yeah, I can see what I got in stock. Two-handed, huh? Let's see what I have. All right. So he has all matter right now of most basic weaponry that you can look for: great swords, great axes, great club, couple javelin, like basic weaponry he can do. If you're looking for something specific or fancy, we can see. But yeah, it's a kind of whatever. What are you looking for? I guess is the question. Other than
I would like something fancy for my new suit to adorn it better than just these old used battle axes, these fancy battle axes.
Something stronger or special.
let's see. Zaishori, roll me only a D100. Okay. All right. What do I gotta do? That is gonna be. All right. Here's what I need. I need a persuasion check from Saishori. I need a perception or investigation check from Seven,
All right.
and let me get an insight check from everybody.
So I'm gonna do
One sec.
an investigation. Oh,
Damn it!
Wait, did he just roll a nat?
yeah.
It's just, of course. It's just how it goes. 7 cannot be stopped.
Evan didn't get to roll a D100 at the last shop.
Oh, I'm coming on to roll that insight check real quick.
And you still
Both
need
those
my
rolls were really good as normal rolls. Rose.
Yeah, Rose, I take the first
22,
one.
23.
Yeah.
and my still an insight check for me too, right? Or no?
Yeah, still roll an insight.
Nope.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
16.
Like nothing looks out of the ordinary until I really start looking.
So Seven, you are preoccupied. Way kind of like gives you like a brief tour, but kind of like says, "Hey, yeah, take a look around, pick some stuff up, see what like fits. Like, tell me what like we'll look to see what I got. You know, find something that fits your hand right. If you like it, we'll negotiate price. So you are just headlong diving into like just picking up every single weapon he probably has on display here. So you're just not paying attention to anything else at that point. All right, something unique for Seven. What does he have right now? Yeah, that would be a Seven unique thing that he. Yeah,
Yeah.
Give him a flail.
a flail.
They're my
Yeah,
bonus
it's just, I
action.
don't know, it's a funny mental image in my head.
Attach it to the tail.
You've seen Elf on a Shelf, but have you seen?
Flail on a snail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got a flail snail. That counts.
Oh damn!
I'm so
Told
sorry
you.
to hear that.
Flail snail. D&D
Oh.
monster. Look it up.
I don't think I want to fight that yet.
Probably not. 7. You kind of start picking some stuff up. You see, again, basic axes, great swords, broadswords, long swords, short swords. You skip over the dagger section because what the fuck are those? Toothpicks? Who the
Yeah.
fuck?
I painted a beggar.
Yeah. You see, like, he does have a couple of javelins in stock. So if you just need to re-up on some actual javelins, you could do that. But as you kind of go through some bins, you find there are these weird, like, they're blades, and at first you think they're axe blades, and you kind of like go to pick up for a handle, and you don't see like a traditional one, and then you notice like the blade doesn't just it's a curved blade, but it goes all the way. It's like a circle blade, and then you see like
Oh.
a handle kind of like
Ah.
runs through the center of them.
I think I know what this is.
They're fun.
Player does.
Yeah.
This. I like this.
You see, there's like as you go to pick it up,
grippy.
they kind of like separate slightly. So now there's like 2 circle blades, and each has a handle.
I'm about to be a warrior princess.
But yeah, these are Elven chakrams.
Oh. I like these.
Not quite knuckle dusters, but
Yeah.
small handheld.
Hey. Right.
Different than anything you've seen.
Oh God. Well, Dory, right? Dory.
What?
I'm trying to remember his name.
Oh, Dory Way.
Dory Way.
Yeah.
Dory. I like these.
That's a good eye. Yeah, those are. I made those for fun a while back. They're an interesting weapon. You can use them hand to hand. I've known a couple people who knew how to throw them.
You can throw these?
Yeah,
Want-
once.
Okay.
I mean, I was get 'em afterwards, but they can be thrown. Yeah.
Oh, I like these. How much?
Well, that makes sense. It's not like he has some magical gem that would like return them to him or something like that. So,
Okay, go back. Yes.
I can let go of the pair for call it 12 gold.
Okay. I want this. Oh, also, do you have anything that would hold more than 10 javelins?
Like a bucket.
Yeah, well, I need to wear it.
Are you asking me if I can make a quiver backpack of javelins?
Yes. Not sure what quivers, but yes.
Quiver is he picks up a quiver because he has arrows. It's like it's this. It's what you carry arrows in.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at critical. I don't think that'll hold 20 javelins.
Not I gotta make it.
Oh yes, bigger. Yes.
He looks at you. I've made crazier shit. Yeah, I think I could fasten something. It might take me some time, but
Okay.
sure. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
probably do that in a couple days. Pretty
Right.
simple. You said you want to wear it like a backpack.
Yeah. Or over the shoulder or something, just so I can grab and. Well, would it also be to hold other weapons too?
I mean, I'm sure if the handle could fit, yeah, I guess.
Yes,
Theoretically.
I would very much like that.
He wants to carry excessive weaponry and still have his hands free for hugs.
What are hugs?
That it's
Did
when
I
you
eat
love
it?
someone, Seven, and you put your hands on them without the intent to murder them.
Oh, like the handshake thing.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
What? I'll tell you what. I'm gonna buff you, and I'll take some measurements and see what I can come up with. I might have to either wait until your friend is done with the forge, or maybe if he takes a break, I'll work at night. It shouldn't be that much forging on my part. It's really gonna be for you. I'm probably gonna use. Kind of looks at you and the different spatterings of blood and viscera from your countless endeavors. Yeah, I'll probably have to make it probably heavy hide straps just to make sure they don't, I'm assuming you get into a little bit of a tussle once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can make something work.
All right.
I'll start sketching some stuff. We'll talk. Kind of now looks back after, having that conversation. Let me double check something. Sorry. Insight rolls, persuasion, cool. Insight. Yeah, you're all pretty good. So you all as Dory's kind of like helping and talking to you all, and Saishori, you're kind of describing like, yeah, two-handed weapons. You see him take notice of like, the giant, backpacks and great sword on your back. Saishori and Suji. Suji, you're over by the forge, kind of getting yourself set up and looking at the tools and like familiarizing yourself with, again, tools that while your brain knows what they are and what they're used for, you are seeing probably for the first time, like actually. So like you're having a very weird headspace moment, but the two of you are kind of are quick to pick up on it. Dory is definitely impressed, intrigued by this, small, unassuming figure that has entered his shop with very large weapons on her back, and not a hard man to read. What?
I said she's strong.
Yeah.
Yep.
The air of mystery and, again, not one but two massive weapons strapped to her back, There's some sort of, vibe there coming from him, to a point that like he kind of like takes the 7 interaction of like talking about this weapon as like an excuse to like take himself out of that conversation, to like not be directly trying to communicate with Saishori for like a minute, just kind of like taking himself out of it. But after he finishes up with 7 talking about this, backpack javelin quiver, comes back. It's like, two-handed, kind of special. Yeah, all right, hold on one second. You see him kind of goes to the back of his like kind of behind a curtain behind where his forge is. And leaves you all, the 4 of you there alone for a minute. Is there anything you want to do or talk about while he's gone?
So sure, he seems intrigued, maybe smitten by you.
Okay, so he was looking at me weird. Okay.
He was?
But weird is up to interpretation.
Wanna
I'm
fight?
blushing under my hood.
Think about it. He's surrounded by puny, well, in his view, scrawny elves all day, and then walks this seemingly unassuming woman who happens to be wielding these incredible weapons. I
I've
wouldn't be
never had
surprised, I
attention
think.
like this before.
Why is it different? I have attention all the time.
Yeah,
You can't see
different
me, but
type
I'm
of tent.
blushing.
No, the information broker named Chauncey is real interested in me. He tinked. He clinked.
What?
He clanked.
He clanked. Yeah, the cod piece, it clanked.
Right.
I'm used to it. I get all the attention. Should be fine.
God, I hate that you remember that.
I
I don't. I love it. But
Yeah.
God damn it.
Well, Seven, if you start to feel insecure, just give him a flex and below the cape.
Oh, so don't rage.
No, not rage, just the cape, man.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. I was distracted by these. So I'm just holding up his new chakram blade, elven chakram blades. Take some swings and then just Yeah, the cape billowing. It's got the things in my hand. I'm like, I wonder if he even has 10 more javelins.
He doesn't
Oh.
even know what I look like.
You look like you.
He might not know what you look like, Zaishori, but I think he already knows you could pick him up.
That I may.
Oh.
AKA, if there was an equivalent to She-Hulk in this world, that would be the reference being made right now.
Yeah.
So, guys, what the hell is this thing called again? As I'm just holding up random pieces.
You're the one that's supposed to know these things, Suji. Oh, speaking of you preparing yourself, and I'll go into the bag of holding, and I will clean out all of the Nelfinian scrap metal.
Cool.
Suji, whenever you're finished, whatever remains, would you mind smelting it into a bar just for ease of carrying?
Yeah, of course. Let me get the blueprints too while you're in there.
Yes, of course, and I'll hand those over.
Like, I'm gonna pull out my frog hematite. You think Tankers would like this on his armor?
Wait, what did you pull out?
I still have 18 behemoth teeth. Frog hematite teeth.
I do appreciate the offer, but I'm going for more ethereal than terrifying.
Yeah, but he could scare them.
You
He
know,
go like roar.
that,
Good thing. Makes him pointy so they don't want to bite him.
I'm trying to find an argument against this. Look, Fem and I do appreciate the offer. We've got the blueprints. Save the teeth. I'm sure you can find some way to incorporate them into some big scary weapon you'll be carrying.
Robbie, I have argument against the teeth. Wait.
Oh yes, of course. What am I thinking? Yes. See, Suji, this is why I need you for this. Yes, Seven. This is the only ore that Tinkers could even have a chance of being able to fly around with. No offense, Tinkers.
No taken.
I just thought he would want to be intimidating. But I
He's
can.
very scary when he wants to be. Show him, Tinkers.
Rawr.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
still-
look at that. He's ready to scratch your newly buffed armor. Yeah, that scares him.
I don't have armor, and
You're
if everything else trying to bite and scratch me worked,
I'm
it
gonna
still will.
chew on your coattails.
You better not. I've made you disappear once before.
You do realize by attacking Tinkers, you're not actually attacking him. You're just merely making me poor 10 gold at a time.
What happens if he gets eaten?
I imagine he would simply cease to exist until I resummon him.
But where do the things I eat go? Because nothing comes out of me.
Yeah, we know that, Seven, but it's a better test with actual material.
Well, then find something.
Familiars don't have a physical body in the traditional sense.
All right. I could put these teeth in a club.
Yeah, you hear that? I'm empty calories.
What's a calorie?
I don't think I have the time.
I just look at Tinkers like, you opened this door. You go ahead.
So
You
Tinker,
know-
you're telling me you don't want to be really scary. As I'm just holding the pile of teeth still because I refuse to put it away.
You know, I accept who I am in this world, and who I am is a less than a foot long, white, fluffy cat with wings.
Yes, you are.
Scary is probably not my forte, but I do appreciate the offer.
Okay. I wish I could these could be part of me and I could be scarier, but it might clash with my new suit. Weapons. What's that Maori weapon called where the whole thing is just lined in shark teeth? I want one of those next.
So, wait, no, we're not with Valia right now, right?
No.
No, just the four of you. I'm catching us up time wise because this all happens in the same like hour.
Gotcha. I'm gonna send a message to Valir. Seven just mentioned that the teeth he's carrying would clash with his new clothing. How much time have you been spending with him? That's all I got.
Alright.
So instead of talking about clashing fashion choices, I think I need to talk to Valir.
That's his own fucking fashion sense, alright?
You can respond to that in 25 words.
I'd say, Leah, you get that while you're sitting at the bar, like
Okay.
Oh yeah, shit, that's a retcon, isn't it? Whoops.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Already happened.
I honestly don't know because he always wanted a suit. As you saw, he's always buying clothes. I never buy clothes.
I turn back towards the group. Valier's convinced me maybe he does not have as much to do with Seven's fashion inclinations as I thought.
What, you want me to be naked too?
No.
Pervert.
No.
I'm gonna turn and my cape's just gonna start billowing. Put my back to him.
Oh my gosh.
So you put your back to me with the billowing cape, meaning the cape is just ever so gently whacking against me? Is
Yes.
that what it is?
Yes.
This feels uniquely petty. Okay, now I think maybe he's been spending too much time with Vintep. Huh?
Terrible.
All right, I'm done.
So after a few minutes go by, you hear some clanking in the back. But Dory does show up back up. He has a pretty well crafted like case essentially. It's not a scabbard, but it's like a large box essentially, and he kind of plops it down on the counter. Yeah, I did some tinkering a little while back, and just kind of something I was fucking around with. See him cracks open the case, pulls out this beautifully crafted, scrawled in like elven script, broadsword, like just this giant, like fucking sword. Yeah, so it gets the job done. I've tested it myself. You see, he's kind of like finding it very hard to brag about himself, but this is definitely like something he's proud of. And also still a little flustered, trying to. He seems right now he's like talking to the room, so he's like very obviously talking to Saishori, and he kind of like hands her like the hilt of the sword.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh, Suji, I know you look like you're busy. I'm just gonna take a walk outside, get a little bit of air. Why don't you come along with me, Seven?
Well, I want to see the sword.
Of course.
We can
Hey.
see the sword later.
Right here. Stay right here. Stay,
let's
stay,
take a
walk.
stay right here. Stay right here. Stay. Stay.
You now have to try to convince Seven whether he's staying or leaving.
I hear
God damn it.
dual persuasion checks.
Yeah.
I was thinking alternatively.
Are you gonna command him right now? Because I'm
Ooh.
for it.
I never command anything with my friends.
Are you gonna
I would simply
suggest?
make a polite suggestion.
Dude.
I wouldn't do
just
that.
go,
Probably we talked about this.
All right, you're right. Okay, Seven, just come on inside.
No.
I don't know what to do. One's sort of like my mom, and the other one is Ravi.
Yo, that was great.
Oh, my
Wow.
character is so conflicted.
They sure is just super flustered. She's never been
yeah.
in a situation like this before.
All right, Zaishori convinced me. I won't do the suggestion, but I will still attempt to get him to come out with me to let her fraternize.
Okay.
All right.
Both of you make persuasion checks.
Do
Yes.
it. Do it.
Wait, is it all of us?
Just you and
No, just
you and Reddy. You are
You got
persuading
a-
7.
Ooh, Suji's rolling an intelligence check
Charisma,
for
dude.
something else.
That's strong on her part.
7. You see Saishori is like kind of flustered. She's like no, don't go.
Yeah, I'll look at the sword. Maybe we can see how well it performs. Maybe a little spar with it.
I guess we're all watching the sword presentation.
Okay.
I'll still choose to sit quietly after that.
But yeah, so Dory like hands you the hilt of the sword, Saishori, and offers you to take it.
Is there anything significant about the sword I noticed?
Make an investigation or perception check. So you taking a look at it. At first glance, you can tell it's it's not recently made, but it's kept in very well condition. There are, like I said, some sort of scrolling Elvish script. Do you speak Elvish?
I need to check my sheet real quick.
No problem.
I do indeed. Look at that.
All right.
What do I see? What do I read on there?
I get to pull up the Dory sword. Hold on 1 second.
That's interesting. I wasn't sure if this was just going to be a flavor thing, but when he said the Dory sword, that's now I'm intrigued.
I mean, his name is Dory, and he made a sword. I'm not.
Well, yeah, but I would assume this is not. I would assume he doesn't name every sword the Dory sword unless he's that egotistical or an idiot.
Do you not know elves?
I thought you were one.
I mean, someone putting their calling card like on everything. I mean, that would just be ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about what Suji's scythe is called. Suji's super cool, awesome scythe.
Okay,
TM.
this is I was gonna say this is completely random. I know at least one person here has, but has anyone seen Sword Art Online Abridged?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. So I know you know what scene I'm referencing then. This sword is a piece of shit. Dragon shit, that is. LOL trademark Elizabeth. Gotta have that trademark.
This is one of the most eventful shopping trips ever.
Yeah. All right. So the inscription you see on this sword is forged through fire, dragon chilled. And the second is actually not in Elvish.
What language is it?
What languages do you speak?
I have Celestial, I have Common, Elvish. I think the other one was in Infernal.
Yeah, Inferno probably for your.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't read it's essentially it's scrolling through it, and you read that part. It's kind of like going down the right hand side of the blade, and then the kind of mirrored on the other side is a second sentence in a language you don't recognize.
Hey, Ravi, can you look at this real quick?
I can certainly give it my best.
Do you recognize your language?
DM, is it one of the languages I know, which consist of Common, Elvish, Sylvan, Draconic, Dwarvish?
The second one is written in Draconic.
Oh.
Ah, okay. I will attempt to read it.
The second sentence says equates as much as the Draconic writing can to.
Yeah, not quite a literal translation as we know into. But I'll give it. I don't know. That's right. Shit, she's not. Wait, she does speak English, right?
She does, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll give it my best approximation, either Common or Elvish, whatever fits best.
Actually, give me either history or a religion check.
Based on the situation, I mean, it wouldn't matter for dice, but I would think that'd be history anyway. Oh, are you stalling or did you not click? There we go. 17.
17, cool. As you take a look at this, and again, it takes you a second, but you recognize like the Draconic runes, kind of scrawled into it, and it's hard again because of the choppiness of Draconic and the way it's written. You're not sure if it says the Slayers or the Slains gift, but it's something along that line.
Interesting. Okay. So I'll just say it then. So the translation's a bit strange. I mean, I know there's very different meanings. The Slayers, the Slain, gift.
Interesting. I'm gonna look at what's his name again? Dory?
Dory.
Dory.
Doorway.
Dory, what does this mean?
Um,
You forged this, right?
I did. Forged it a little while back. For an old friend who had gone. He was heading towards the southern mountains, kind of in the middle of nowhere, and well, he had it in his head that. Oh, yep, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just saying. Wait, you mean southern as in the Ashen Mountains?
No, more south of, like, you know, that island of
Yeah, quite familiar as I may have anticipated with the draconic. Who is your friend?
I forgot. It's, his name's Katori. He,
Oh,
Iron.
man.
oh man, KFC, man.
Oh boy.
Anyway, yeah, he told me about this thing where he was gonna go fight and find a dragon. I told him dragons, don't exist anymore. That's kind of their whole thing. But according to him, he found one. So that the inscription came afterwards, but let's just say he put this. He was gonna buy the sword, kind of put a down payment on it. Came back, told me he couldn't afford the sword, so he left it here with me, and it was the whole thing. But it's fine. I haven't seen him in a while. But yeah, so
So is it the slain or the slayer's gift?
um, he said it was the slain gift. He was trying to be poetic, I guess. It's kind of a hard language to get nuance in.
Can you remind me? Because I have his name and some of the shit about him in my notes, but I don't remember what he was. Was he a dragonborn?
Katari Ferdinand Clay was a human.
KFC.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yep. Of course, leave it to a human to try to be poetic in a language he doesn't fully understand.
But yeah, anyway, like I said, it's a really nice piece. It's again, it's on the bigger side of his two-handed weapons that he made, which is also surprising when you think about it, because Katori carrying a giant two-handed sword is interesting.
Hmm. Let's see. I'm kind of impressed that it was made for Katori. How much is it?
Well, like I said, he already paid for half of it, so I kind of always told myself I didn't need to get the full price back. Call it. I can do it for 1,000 gold.
Jeez.
A
Oh.
1,000? Can I convince him to like haggle?
You can certainly.
I will gently place my hand on Zaishori's shoulder and just say, "Why don't you, ask him nicely?" And I will give her magical guidance.
Okay.
So what's your price for me?
Wink, wink.
Yeah, we need to know, is there any winking in this scenario, Zashuri?
There was winking.
Winking would also imply that you would have to take the hood back a little bit.
That's why I said I don't think he's gonna be seeing any
No,
winking.
no.
Peeking. Just a little peek of the hood. Okay.
And I guess the question is, what's worse? You take the hood off and he reacts really badly, or you take the hood off and he reacts really well?
7 just buys it himself.
It's up to you.
Don't you?
It's up to you, Saishori. Is that the end of the statement?
Did you say what it actually did?
No. Just what was inscribed on it.
Let's see. I feel like I usually have gloves on. I'll take one off so he can see the purple skin.
So I need you to make a persuasion check with advantage and with the D4 from guidance.
Okay.
It's a 50. You know, it's been here a while. Call it 750 and it's yours.
750.
But I'm just 7. I want to be 50.
Okay, I'm gonna just peek my hood a little bit so I can see my face. Um, you know, I've been out there for a long time now. I'll even leave you my own great sword. Can we get it lower?
Give me one more persuasion check. This one will just be flat. You can give me an insight check, and anybody who is still paying close attention can.
No. I think
I'm definitely watching.
it said insight.
Yep.
Nothing going on.
Devin over the floor.
That sword is so cool.
Oof, oof.
Yeah.
Well, Suji did an intelligence check before because he was figuring out how the forge works. And he's like, I remember that I put the ores in here to smelt the bars, but what happens if I put my hand in there?
Don't let the intrusive thoughts win.
Fire bad. Ah! So yes, Shuri. As you pull the hood back slightly and just reveal the outlines of your face a little bit, and you see he kind of looks up at you, and you're taken back for a second. And while you noticed in town, you guys were walking around the general, upbeat people and that were in the community and how they greeted, your party as they were walking. And you kind of at first attested that to, oh, well, you're traveling in an elven town with, 4 other elves and 7 wasn't doing anything particularly wrong at the time. You chalked it up to, oh, I was traveling and keeping myself hidden. But in this moment, you see someone who's like genuinely seeing you. He smiles. And he's like, okay, look, yeah, so you guys, I mean, he's gonna be here for a couple days. And he looks at Suji, who's, don't put your hand in that.
Okay.
No. God. You're supposed to be here for a couple days. Let's see how long he lasts. Sorry, I am stalling. I'll tell you what. It's not conditional on this. I can give you the sword for 600. And I would love if you are going to be around, maybe I'm not forging for the next couple of days at some point if you want to get a drink.
I'd love to get a drink.
I just silently I don't even need to look. I just Tinkers, you know I'd be looking at you if it wasn't very obvious right now, right?
Yes. Wait,
Can I
what?
keep my great sword?
Yes, you can keep your great sword.
Okay. Sure.
Fantastic. Great. Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Suji's, I'm sure he's staying too.
Not
What?
right now.
Oh,
Zaishori, you want to become a blacksmith like us?
Just the childlike wonder in his
Wow.
voice. So
I
pure.
love you, Suji.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be today. Of course, yeah. What take your time. Whenever you want. Just
Okay. I guess you're always here.
yeah, for the most part. I live out in the back, and you see there's like this is a larger building, and only like the front is like a storefront. But I've been here for most of my life. I can show you around some places in town, get a drink, and maybe something to eat, and just talk.
Sounds good.
am I still getting buffed?
Yes. Yeah. Let me do that before I make more of a fool of myself.
Oh, and don't forget the javelin quiver.
I just nervously like throw like 600 gold and just like kind of walk backwards out.
We've been in here for 10 goddamn minutes.
What?
Just have a moment.
Coins kind of clatter on the table. It's just kind of like drop. It's like, yeah, that looks like 600. You put your hold back up and kind of push your way towards the back, or out if you wanted to actually like leave. Up to you.
Sorry, I wasn't really listening, guys. Who's quivering over there?
It's gonna make me a quiver for javelin, Suji,
Oh, okay.
and other weapons, so I can keep getting more.
I will walk over to Suji and whisper, apparently Dory.
So,
Oh,
so
I go into like closer. I'll be like, oh, is it because he's in the presence of a master blacksmith?
That is exactly correct. Your insight is unmatched, Suji.
Sure.
I didn't mean to intimidate him, but I guess we'll see how it goes.
It's not every day a student of Hondrick walks into his forge.
So
DM real quick.
sure.
What weight are we encumbered again?
That's right. Half our max carrying capacity.
Yeah. So it's
Sorry, I didn't hear.
sorry. So your carrying capacity is 15 times your strength score. So
Mine's different.
yeah, because you're a fucking tank. We all know. We know how different.
Sorry, you're at an 18 or a 20?
Do they?
Me?
Yeah.
Strength.
Oh, 18.
18. Got it. Yeah, so your max is 270, encumbered at 135.
Okay, well, I am currently encumbered. I have to get rid of some stuff.
If you have too much shit, you can, within limits, give me stuff for the bag of holding.
Okay, perfect. I'll do that later on.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna back away and out the shop.
Yep. So sure you make your way outside with this new beautiful greatsword. 7, you take like the next probably 20 minutes or so getting buffed and getting nice and shined up. Suji, you start getting yourself acclimated to the forge and start kind of melting down the scrap material to start making your ingots. Eventually, Revi and Seven, you guys make your way out, meet up with Saishori,
Uh,
go get some horses and carts.
First, I just need to pay.
Oh, I thought you paid for which part?
I
already?
paid for the shotguns. There's no talk of how much the quiver would cost or the cleaning.
So the cleaning charges you a gold. Like it doesn't, take time. The quiver, he's not gonna charge you for it yet because he needs to design it, but basically says like let him design it, and then basically he'll charge you for labor and materials, which shouldn't be that expensive. It's mostly just, he takes your measurements while he's buffering you, just kind of figure out like, okay, how is this gonna sit? Like, he asks you to like do range of motion things so that way he can realize like how far your arm goes back so you can like grab and throw.
Robot arms.
Yeah.
Also, he needs to make one adjustment.
You're gonna take the tail out.
Like that. I kind of got to have to, don't I?
All right, make an intimidation check.
We're in his shop, though, right?
Yeah.
All right. Not too bad.
Okay. Yeah. You do this, and he's like, you see, there's like the moment of like wasn't expecting it, but then the moment of like he's more intrigued by the process of what just happened than he is afraid of just this giant metal man with a metal tail now.
Yeah.
But he takes into account, he watches like the way the tail shoots out, asks you to kind of like move it around a little bit so he can make sure it doesn't like hang too low on the basket so it's not gonna like affect the tail's movement.
The
But
place my back rippling back and forth.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
he checks you all out. He's like, yeah, give me, by the time he's done in a couple of days, I should have something whipped up. We'll talk, price after. Don't worry about it.
All right. Perfect. All right. So I'm in here for what? 13 gold?
Yep.
All right.
So Seven and Revi, you go outside, you meet up with Saishori, who is, I'm assuming, waiting somewhere nearby.
Down the street.
Okay. Yeah. About 2.5 blocks down the street, you see Saishori is just kind of like, you think she's like tucked in an alley or like nervous pacing?
I personally think she's in one of those what the fuck moments.
Yes.
Yeah. The three of you meet back up and are off to go find some horse and carriages for your guys' trek back to go meet up with Captain Schmidt-Torin. Vinteth, at that point, you are making your way through town over towards, you're heading towards the Bleeding Heart, right?
Yeah.
Next. Okay, you're heading towards the Bleeding Heart. Valir, you, about an hour-ish goes by, you finish your breakfast, you gather yourself and start to leave the establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you heading next?
Let's see. And I'm in like the fancier area, right?
Yep.
Currently. I think I'm just gonna browse around.
Okay.
Nowhere in particular. Just taking a stroll.
Cool. Give me a perception check.
Perception.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. So the next half hour or so, you're making your way through this upper district. You're seeing, a couple of the Shire End shops are opening. You see, different clothing and fine, china eateries, things like that. as you make your way past another one of these, like it was kind of a nice restaurant. You smell like fresh pastries are being made. As you pass by it, you feel hands grab your collar and grab like at your arms and duck you into an alleyway. That's where we'll pick up next time.
All right. Oh, this is a fucking great session.
some interesting lore for sure.
Yeah.
Some character development. This was a big moment for Zaishuri. You know, the taking off the hood was what I was surprised by, honestly. Like, I'm joking aside about like the awkwardly flirting blacksmith. I thought that was a good moment.
At least she did it on purpose. Mine was all accidental with Gwyneth.
What is?
Herbolg.
Sashori's a gold digger.
You are.
She didn't know what she was doing. Don't judge her.
She saw a pretty sword and started removing her clothing.
I think it was more she liked this person maybe more than she was letting on. Why? Because she never actually asked what the sword did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We can find out.
We can.
That would have been a good question.
I know, Rose. I'm pretty sure it's just because you forgot to ask. But I'm gonna pretend like it's because Zaishuri was smitten.
Oh, I need to see Fast Talking Lenny again.
Why?
I need the chain.
Next time.
Which is like, I am never sending you fuckers to a city again. It's gonna be all outskirt towns from now on. No more of this shit.
Right, but honestly, Roach, didn't you kind of love it?
Oh, I love every part of this. I try my hardest to make shopping episodes actually fun,
Yeah.
and I hope they are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Roach has had some interesting ones in the other campaign for sure in terms of shopping.
I genuinely apologize, but that is the natural reaction of Brad. You nailed it. Like, this is a blacksmith who lives with a bunch of elves and saw a very intriguing, powerful woman walk in, and it's like, yeah, this is what would happen.
Seven falling and get
Honestly,
hit on by a weirdo.
So Robbie nailed the motivation of this guy basically.
Yeah, he's not. No.
Cool. All right. Like it.
He's a simple man, but you know,
What's his race again?
he's elven.
Elf. Only Seven fine doesn't get hit on by some weird guy. It's sure.
I mean, 7. Even in D&D, everybody needs a Rule 34.
Yeah.
No.
Rule 34/7.
Oh my gosh.
But I mechanically do not have genitals.
But 7 can transform into whatever you want.
Not yet.
Oh,
Because
no.
yeah.
This is where it goes off the rails.
I'm internally screaming.
I really need to be that level 6 barbarian. I messed up. I would have gained an extra rage.
Would you pick the fighter level?
Yeah.
That's still not a bad choice.
You know what? Immediately, if I picked the other thing, I would not have rage. I would have just used other stuff. I'd be a full spider right now, all the time.
For some reason, I feel happy 7 picked the fighter level. Even in characters, motherfucker would spider climb for no goddamn reason in the blacksmith shop. All of a sudden, he's like, guys, I specifically told you, no demonic shit. I'm sorry, you need to leave.
I'm just getting a better look up here. You see better when you're higher up. A 600-pound monster in her ceiling. Just wants a better look. The ceiling's like 3 feet above him. It's like, wasn't good enough. I need a new angle.
God damn it.
Snake
I've seen
spider.
players metagame to try to drive their plot. I've seen metagaming to try to, like real pushing to try to get weapons or armor, fancy shit. I have never seen a player min-max fashion like our boy Seven has. He loves him some fashion.
Yeah.
It does.
Look, I got into this super inexperienced, so I think that is my special attribute right now. I'm not swayed by anything else anyone else has done.
Seven woke up with no memories, but he just knew that he needed to look fabulous.
Yeah.
So I think it works too if he walks into more unaccepting towns. It, like initially, someone will be like, "Oh, that's not massive," but he's so dashing and well dressed.
Yeah. Next suit needs to be able to transform, and that's when Seven spends all of the money. I
Also,
need
another thing I love about our campaign is I feel like more character development happens during shopping trips than us just driving on a buggy for like fucking 2 months.
Yeah. I think I've spent like 6,000 gold so far.
Jeez.
We got the fancy battle axes. We got the knuckle dusters that I will probably never see or have a need for, but I paid for them and I need them. I spent $1,000 on a suit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That one won't just rip, right? That one moves with you or no?
Yeah.
It's assless.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep. Got those assless chaps going.
Yes,
Good
but
luck.
the top is longer, so it covers it for now. It's like a tuxedo thing.
See, but the tail can
Penguin,
emerge
the penguin suit.
without ripping. Yeah,
Ducktail.
you got the tail.
Yeah, the ducktail tuxedo. Got
Yep.
that little split. It's fine. That was 1,000, 3,000 straight gold on the knuckles, in addition to 2 rare gems. And then we're gonna see what else this is gonna cost. And then everything I spent at the other place. And here,
Hey, it could have been worse. You could have been the one with the gem with the soul in it and given it away for knuckle dusters.
I could have.
Could always be worse.
Wait, what? We saw the gem, right?
No, we do. I had.
No, but somebody randomly got the gem. Like Vinteth randomly rolled that gem,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Evan rolled it and just traded it away
Yeah.
for knuckle dusters.
yes, that certainly could have happened.
Well, I kept the one that was in part of the 5 stones for Rugbarg. Oh, I
Stones.
had that. Now I'm Seven's eventually gonna need to go to a jeweler.
Wait, what 5 stones? There were way more than 5 in the gem pile.
Oh no. For the item of worship, the symbol of Rugbarg, it's 5
Oh.
stones.
Oh, okay. Wait,
Yeah.
stones or gems?
Gems.
Huh. Interesting.
Like I still
I
have
still
an
have one
amber.
diamond.
I gave away
Who's gonna die?
half-
Someone could die at some point.
Gave away what the sapphire and the onyx I had.
I believe so.
Yeah, and I kept the amber.
You know,
Yeah.
it just occurred to me. Tell me how fucking stupid I am. It just occurred to me
Fucking
that
stupid.
I'm pretty sure the only thanks. I'm pretty sure the only person in this group who can cast Revivify is also the person who worships the goddess, specifically about the natural transition of souls to the afterlife.
Yep.
There's gonna be a problem at some point. How did I just realize this? like fucking years into this campaign.
It'd be fine.
I have reasons that I'm allowed to use it for now, anyway.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, our characters don't know that, but you have justification for Vintef casting Revivify if he needs to at some point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Never said it was good justification. It's just what he believes.
I guess at the end of the day, if we prove ourselves competent in helping you in your service of the mother, right?
Yep.
All right.
We did it.
We
Till
did it.
next
All right, till next time. That was a good after.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
of availability stuff.